In this video, we're going to go through on Catholic High School Preliminary Examination 2024, Primary 6 Mathematics, Paper 1, Booklet B. So let's get started on question 16. Okay, so you round 12,976 to the nearest 100. Okay, so for this first step, right, is to look at the digit of 100 place, right, which is this is 9. Okay, then second step, right, second step, look at the digit before 100 place, which is 7. Okay, and then third step, so third step is to what do you call this, is 7 5, check if digit before 100 place is 5 or more, which is a yes. Then fourth step, okay, if yes, then add 1 to 100 place digit. So in this case is 12976, okay, and then you add plus 1 in this case over here, okay, and this will then become 1, which is using curly brackets 13000. Okay, so that's the answer. It's 130 or 13,000. 1300 also works. Okay, so the answer is 13000. Okay, let's move on to question 17. Okay, so question 17 says find the value of 2.34 times 6t. Okay, so usually I would just like to break it down. 2.34 times 6 times 10. Okay, so over here you can just put 2.34 and you multiply this by 6. Okay, so then we can just calculate it. So 4 times 6 will be 24. So from here, put 4 below and then put 2 on top. Okay, then 3 times 6 is 18 plus 2 is 20. Put 0 here and then they put 2 on top again as well, like this. So 2 times 6 will be 12 plus 2 will be 14. Okay, 1404. Okay, so from here, that means this 14.04 times 10. That means you put the decimal to the left, so it's 140.4. So the answer is 140.4. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 18. Find the value of 4 out of 7 divided by 14. Okay, so I'm going to put it here as a fraction. All right, 4 out of 7. And then we divide it by 14. Okay, so when you divide a whole number, like what you see over here, right, 14, this will become equal to, so what do you think the first step is? Right, 4 out of 7, instead of divide, you times. Okay, so in this case, you times, and then 14 will then be, you will flip it. So in this case, instead of 14, this will be 1, right? 1 out of 14. That's what you see over here. Okay, so then what you can do is you can cancel some stuff. So 4 over here and 14 over here, if you divide them by 2, right, this will become 2 and this will then become 7. Okay, like this. So then this will then become, okay, if I were to just grab this, okay, this would then become 2 times 1 out of 7 times 7. Okay, that's what you see over here. Okay, and what will be the final fraction? Okay, the final fraction will then be, what's 2 times 1? 2 times 1 is, in this case, 2. And then what about 7 times 7? It will be 49. Okay, so it will be 2 out of 49 over here. And that's the answer, 2 out of 49. There you go. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 19. Okay, so you see that find the value of 10w out of 5 minus w plus 1 when w is equal to 4. Okay, over here, same thing. What we can do is we can have 10. So W means times 4 and then out of 5. Okay, so we just do that. Okay, and then we minus. Okay, and then minus let me just put like this, minus 4 plus 1. Okay, so this is what it all looks like. Okay, in this case over here. Okay, so what is 10 times 4? So you can cancel lah, right? You can cancel 5 and you can cancel 10 as well. Okay, so 5 will be 1, 10 will be 2. So that means this will then become 2 times 4 minus 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1, right? Okay, let's do that. Okay, then this will then become 8 minus 4 plus 1. 8 minus 4 is 4 plus 1. This will then becomes 5. So the answer to this is 5. Okay, let's move on to question 20. Write down all the common factors of 8 and 12. Okay, so common factors. So for 8, we have in this case 1 times 8. Okay, 2 times 4. That's roughly about it. Or for 12, you have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and then 3 times 4. Okay, that's about it. Okay, so what are the common factors between them? So you have 1. Okay, that's 1. Then you have 1 also. You have 2 as well. 2, you have 2. And what's the last one? You have 4 as well, right? 4 and 4. Okay, there you go. So the answer to this is 1, 2, and 4. All right. Okay, let's move on to question 21. Use all the digits 6508 to form the greatest multiple of 5. So, greatest multiple of 5 means last number is greatest multiple of 5 means last number should be 5. Okay, so in this case over here, so you have 6 5. So okay, then yeah, so it can be 8, and then we know the last number should be 5. Okay, so 8 and then something something 5. Okay, what will be the second number? This should be 6, then this should be 0. Okay, or actually A650. That's why I say over here. Okay, so should be okay, I'll just put this either 5 or 0. Should be either 5 or 0. Okay, so or 0 lah, this one. Okay, so let's have the number from greatest to smallest, and in this case it will be 8650, which is multiple of 5, which is great. Thumbs up, great. Okay, so from here, next one, all right, so part B, it says the number closest to 6,000. So in this case, since we can create two, so we can either create 5 6, so create number, so two possible numbers. Okay, so start with 5 and start with 6. So start with 5 will then become 5860, and start with 6 will be equal to 6058. Okay, so from here, that means the closest is 6058, cause the difference is 58. Okay, so 5860, the difference is definitely 5860. Difference is more than 58. Definitely. So the answer to this is 6058. Difference 560 difference, cause the difference from 6,000 is this one. The difference from 6,000 is definitely more than 58 in this case over here. Okay, so the answer is this. Okay, there you go. All right, let's move on to question 22. So Jesse had a total of 30 20 cents and 10-cent coins. She exchanged all the 10-cent coins for 20-cent coins and had a total of 17 20-cent coins after the exchange. How many 10-cent coins did she have at first? So we can work backwards. So she has 17 coins, 17 uh, 20-cent coins in the end is equal to 17, right? So that means the total value is equal to 17 times 0.20, which is equal to, in this case, dollars 3 dollars 3.40. Okay, so we can use the assumption method, right? So in this case over here, okay, so um assume all coins to be 30, assume all coins at first to be, so we want to get 10-cent coins, so 20 cents, right? Coins. Okay, so that means the assumed value is equal to 30 times 20 cents, which is equal to, or 0.2, 20, which is equal to $6, right? $6. Okay, and then next one is difference. Okay, so assume all coins. So this is step one. Okay, step one is assume. Step two is difference. Step two is difference over here. So get the uh, total difference, which is basically 6 minus 3.4. This will give us dollars 2.60, and then value difference equal to 0.20 minus 0.10, and this will give us 0.10. All right, so now step 3 is to just divide. Step 3 is to divide, which is number of 10-cent coins is equal to 2.6, and then we divide it by 0.10. Okay, and this will then become 26, right? So 26 of this, yeah. So the answer to this is 26, right? Okay, so there you go. 26 coins. 26 10-cent coins lah, basically. Okay, so all right. Let's move on to the next question. Question 23. Okay, find the area of the shaded triangle. Okay, so the base is equal to 42 minus 10, 32, and then the height is equal to 15 centimeters. Okay, so it is 32 centimeters, right? So common mistake is assuming that the base is 32 centimeters. So area is equal to, or shaded area is equal to, let me put here, right? Half times base times height. Okay, and this will then become half times base times height. Half times the base is 32, and then the height is 15. Okay, so we can have 32 divided by half. This should be 16 times 15. Okay, so let me just do 16 times 15, right? Okay, why is it like that? Okay, sure. 16 times 15. Okay, so what is 6 times 5? This will then become 30. 0. Put a 3 on top over here. Oops. So, okay, you know what? I'm just going to times 5 first. Okay, so 16 times 5 is basically 80 lah, right? 5 times 1 times 5 is 80. Okay, so 60 times 50 is equal to 16 times 10 plus 16 times 5, which is equal to what? 16 times 10, 160 times 5, which is 80. Then, not times 5, plus. Okay, plus, and then this will be 240. Okay, so centimeter and then square. There you go. So that's the answer, 240 centimeter square. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 24. A rhombus ABCD is on a square grid. Use the line RS to draw a square PQRS such that it has the same parameter as ABCD. So A, B, C, and D. So same parameter. So what you can do is you can actually draw the same lines, right, as how this what do you call it, this rhombus did. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw the rest of the rhombus as what you see over here. Okay, so in this case, the rhombus, right, it is 2 square and 1 to 3 3. Okay, 3 over here. Okay, so you can do the same to this part over here as well. So it's 3 is to 2. Okay, same goes to this part as well, which is if you align like this, then you can draw 3 is to 2 as what you see over here. Okay, something like this. Okay, maybe more aligned. Okay, and that's it. So from here, then we can draw the last one, and that's the answer. Okay, there you go. So this 3 is to 2 over here is basically the measurement in this case. Okay, so yep, that is how you draw the square PQRS. Let me draw the line. So PQ, oops, solid, right? And then PQRS. So P is here, and then this is Q in this sense. All right. Okay. So part B. What fraction of the area of the rhombus ABCD is the area of square PQRS? Okay. So ABCD over here, we can just measure in this case over here, right? So we have four, right? Four units, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, 6 over here. All right. So we have 6 and 4 in this case, right? Then let me just draw some dotted lines so it's easier to see. So we have this, and we have this. Okay, I'm going to cut through this a bit, and then for D as well. Okay, and this. Okay, so in this case, for the rhombus, it also contains basically, that means this. Okay lah. Basically, it has two, right? Two of this, two squares, and three of this. Three. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have to use the lines anymore. Okay, so that means for the area of rhombus, okay, is equal to basically 4 times triangle with base 2 is 2 and height is 3. So if you were to calculate, it's basically 4 times half times base is 2 times height is 3. So that means it's basically you can cancel half and 2, so it's 4 times 3. This will be 12. Okay. All right. So now we have the first one. Okay. Second one is area of what do you call this? A square. Area of square. Okay. So area of square, it's basically you can't really divide because don't have, but it is a square. It comprises of is this 5, right? And there is also 5 over here. Okay. In this case, 5. Okay. So there you have 5 and 5. And then at the same time, we also have, let me just draw a dotted line. So we have 1, okay, we have 2. So we have these 2 triangle, and then we have these 2 triangle. Okay, right, this one as well. And then we have the same, there's 2, and this 2 as well. Okay, so okay, I want to move this area of rhombus to here. So hopefully I can move this, squeeze a bit. Okay, all right. So area of rhombus, then we have area of square, which is basically bigger square minus 4 times triangle. Okay, so I'm just gonna put all the numbers in. Okay, so you can see that the triangles are like this, right? And basically we just need to times the 4 times triangle. Okay, so the bigger square is basically equal to 5 times 5 and minus 4 times of the triangle, which is 4 times, and then we see half. This is whole thing. Okay, so I'm just go bracket. Okay, 4 times of the triangle. Okay, and this will then become 25 minus 12. and this will then become 13. So the fraction of area of rhombus, okay, so fraction is equal to area rhombus, in this case 12 out of 13 lah, basically. And that's it, area square. So that's the answer to this question, 12 out of 13. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 25. In 1 minute, machine A can pack 5 boxes of cookies while machine B can pack 20 boxes of cookies. Both machines started packing at 12:50 a.m. At what time will both machines pack 175 boxes of cookies in total? Leave your answer in 24-hour clock. Okay, so we know that machine A can pack 5 per minute. I'll say per minute. And then machine B, so we'll pack how many? 2 per minute. Okay, so that means if we have machine A plus B, right, plus B, okay, this would then be 2 plus 5, which means this will be 7 per minute, or 7 boxes per minute. Okay, so from here, if 7 boxes, right, is per minute, right, so 175 boxes is equal to 175 divided by 7 times 1. Okay, so let's calculate 175 divided by 7. Okay, so in this we can minus not 1 but 14. Okay, 14 will be 2. Okay, minus 14, and then this will then give us 35, right? So 3 and 5 we can minus 35. Okay, and this will give us the answer. So it's 5 times 7. So that means 175 boxes, 25 minutes. Okay, so with this, we start at 12:50. 12:50 a.m. is equal to 1250. Wait, 1250 a.m. 1250. Okay, correct. 1250 a.m. is basically 0050. Okay, so that means 0050 plus 25 minutes is equal to 0050 plus 10 minutes plus 15 minutes. Okay, right, that means, oops, this will then become 0100 plus 15 minutes, which is equal to 0115. Okay, there you go. So that's your answer. The answer is 0115. Okay, let's move on to question 26. The airmail rates to a country are shown in the table below. Okay, so first 20 gram, we are not sure how many cents, but every additional 10 grams is 12 cents. So Quintin sends a letter that's weighed 33 grams. Okay, he paid 56 cents or less. How much did Quintin pay for the first 20 grams of the letter? Okay, so we know first 20 grams. Okay, yeah, okay, so that means the additional weight is equal to 33 minus 20, which is 13 grams. Okay, so for every additional gram, so that means if additional 10 grams or less is equal to 12 cents, okay, then 13 grams is equal to basically 13 divided by 10. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna additional 10 grams or less blocks is equal to basically 13 divided by 10, which is equal to 1.3. Okay, so that means if there is any remaining, we round up, round, and add one more. Okay, so that means this will 1.3 will then become curly. All right, oops, curly will be 1, and then 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Okay, so for this That means additional cost is equal to 2 times, what is this, 12? Equal to 24 cents. So first 20 gram cost is equal to, what's the total? 56 cents minus 24. Wait, 24. This will then become 32 cents. So the answer to this is 32 cents. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Question 27. Gregory glued 9 unit cubes together to form the solid shown. See, top, front, and side. So you have the top. Okay, so draw the top view. Okay, so I'm gonna put a number, right? So we have 1, and then we have 2. Okay, and then we have 3, then we have 4. Okay, which is the tiny corner here, 4, and then we have 5, and then we have 6 over here. So altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so 9 cubes together. Let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, correct. So we have 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, yeah, correct. Okay, so what will this look like in our top view? So this will be the side. So 1, 2. So I'm gonna draw some squares. So we have 1. Okay, and then we have, so basically just okay. 6. So 4 and 2. Okay, so basically we have, we have this as 4. So 1, 2. Okay, and then 3, and then 4, and then just 1, 2 over here. 1 and 2, like this. Something like this. So the answer looks like this lah. Okay, so now next is Gregory glued more units cubes to the above to form a cube. So what was the least number of units cubes used? Okay, so longest length is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so longest length is equal to 4 cubes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, double confirm. All right, so that means the final cube final cube number of cubes is equal to length times breadth. Wait, breadth. So it's just 4 times 4. 4. Okay, this will be 16 times 4. If you know this answer, this should be 64, right? Okay, so then we have 9 unit cubes. So remaining cubes will then be 64 minus 9. This should be 55 cubes over here. So the answer is 55. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Question 28, right? So 40 pupils helped to sell packets of popcorn at a school carnival. Each pupil was given 6 packets of popcorn to sell. Some pupils did not turn up, so each pupil present had to sell 2 more packets of popcorn to meet the required sale. So many pupils did not turn up. So let's calculate the total popcorn. Popcorn is equal to 40 times 6, which is 240. Okay, so each student was given 6, right? But now since pupils did not turn up, so each student with or with okay, which is equal to 6 plus 2. Okay, which is equal to 8. So basically old so at first each student, then basically number of popcorns each student need to sell after people after some students didn't turn up, right? They did not turn up, which is basically 6 plus 2, which is equal to 8. Okay, so now we know that 8 is per student. Then we can just have 240 So number of students present is basically 240 divided by 8. This will give us 30. So number, so total pupils, the total students is equal to 40. Then students or number of students pupil did not turn up is equal to 40 minus 30, which is 10. There you go. So that's the answer, 10. So answer is 10. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 29. All right, so question 29. A box contains beads of 3 different colors. 3/5 of the beads are red and the rest are blue and green beads. The ratio number of blue beads to green beads is 2:3. What percentage of the beads is blue? Okay, so we know that red, so 3/5 of beads, right, is red. So convert to units to ratio, right? In this case over here, so that means 3. So red is to total, okay, which in this case is 3 is to 5, okay. That means the rest, okay, the rest, or basically the rest, which is basically blue plus green, okay, is to 3 minus 5. This should be 2 over here, right? 2 like this, okay. So I see over here, right? So at the same time, we know that blue, right, the rest, blue is basically 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5, okay. So this is 5, and then we want to also have which is equal to red, no, blue is to green. So you see over here, okay. So blue is to green. So this will then be, oops, this blue will be 2, and then this green will be 3. Okay. So we need to find a common thing over here. So the rest is this 2 and 5. So that means we need to multiply this by 5. Okay. So in this case over here, we need to multiply this by 5. Let me do this. Okay. All of this must multiply by 5. Okay. And then this, we need to multiply this by 2. Okay. In this case over here, right? Okay. So that means for this, the rest, we will have 3 will be 15. Total will be 25. And then this will be 10. Okay. The rest will then be 10, right? And is to, this blue will be is to 4, and this will then become 6. Okay, so we basically, okay, something like this, right? So now since basically need to convert rest to the same number, okay, over here. Okay, so that's what I see over here, right? So now we have this. The next part is we have blue. So blue over here. So we want to get blue. Blue will be, so total is equal to 25. And then blue is equal to 4. So blue percentage is basically 4 out of 25 times 100, which is basically 4 out of 25, which is basically 16 lah, 16% in this case over here. So yeah, that's it. So that's the answer, 16% in this case over here. All right, let's move on to the last question. Question 30. A bakery had a number of cakes for sale. After selling 42 cakes in the morning, 4/9 and the remainder in the afternoon, it was left with one third of the cakes. How many cakes were left? All right, so this is the we call it remainder concept. Okay, so I usually just use the branching method. Branching, yeah, branching method. Okay, so with that said, we'll just draw the branching method. Okay, so we have cakes. Okay, and then we have the branching of two things. So first is we have morning, which is the 42 cakes, right? Sold, sold 42. Wait, this will be the morning. Okay, so I'm just gonna put like this. Okay, and then after that, we also have the remainder. Okay, so always have the remainder like this. Okay, then after that, from the remainder, we then have sold 4 out of 9 in the afternoon like this. Okay, and so I'm just gonna put like this over here. Okay, and then after that, we are left. Okay, so left with one third as what you see over here. Okay, so now how do we solve this? Okay, so basically from here we know that the left one third, the left from remainder is basically 1 minus 4 out of 9, which is 5 out of 9. Okay, so we solve 4 9 of the remainder, we are left with 5 9. So this means we are left with 5 ninth of the remainder. And since 5 9 remainder is same as, so this one third of all cakes is same of all cakes. So that means we have another one which is called the uh, equal fraction concept. Okay, gonna put like this over here. So that means 5 over 9 remainder is equal to one third of all cakes. So we first need to create, so step 1, make numerators the same. So for this, that means this will then become, so I'm just going to put this as 5 over 15 of all cakes, right? So step 2, we'll make convert denominators to units. So that means the remainder over here, okay, is equal to, remainder is equal to 9 units, and then total or all cakes is equal to 15 units. Okay, so now we know that remainder is 9 units, all cakes 50 units. So that means morning sold in units is equal to 15 minus 9 is equal to 6 units. So that means 6 units. Okay, so we know morning we sold, okay, 42, right? Oops, let me just put like this. Yeah, we sold 42. So morning sold 42 cakes, right? Okay, so from this 42, okay, so what? How many cakes were left? Okay, 6 units 42, 1 unit is equal to 42, and then we divide it by 6. This will give us 7 cakes. All right, so how many cakes were left? So we have one third left. So left in units is equal to one third of all cakes times 15. This will be 5 units. Okay, so whoops, 5 units. Therefore, 5 units equal to 7 times 5. This will give us 35 cakes. And that's it. The answer to this is 35. There you go. All right. So that's about it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more on this kind of the video, subscribe down below and comment down what other things you want me to show you next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.